In the wake of the Royal Rumble, not only has Sami Zayn been kicked out of the bloodline, as we all guessed he would after what he did to Roman on Saturday, the next day, Jey Uso on his Instagram account left a post saying, "I'm out." He's out of the bloodline. Why? Because in the moment he saw Roman Solo and his own brother Jimmy basically brutalize Sammy, he had flashbacks of how Roman basically tortured and brutalized him back in 2020 just to force him to be Roman's right hand man. And now I think the scales are starting to come off of Jay's eyes. He once held the position of right hand man in the bloodline with a symbol of pride, something that would give him respect. But now, I think after what happened, not only does he see Roman as a bully and not his tribal chief, he sees his post. I'm doing a video right now, Mom. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, Jay sees his position now for what it really is. And that's this: a dog collar. That's all it was. It was nothing but a dog collar. No more and no less. Something that Roman could use to keep him in line or keep him on the leash. So, what do you do with the tag titles? If you're going to split both the WWE and Universal tag titles up and split the tag titles up again? Well, you can go about it one of two ways. Either you can have Jay basically double cross Jimmy next week, which leads, or at Elimination Chamber whenever the match happens, and have them drop the SmackDown tag titles. And it would probably be against Ricochet and Strowman. I don't really see Imperium winning tomorrow night. Or you use the Freebird rule if Jay is truly leaving the bloodline. I think he's just playing. He's lying about leaving the bloodline. Or Roman's going to basically torture him to come back, and he'll double cross Sammy at the Elimination Chamber. And Jay will double cross Sammy at the Elimination Chamber, which sets up Usos versus Sammy and versus Zayn and versus Zano at WrestleMania. Or you could do the Freebird rule, which would be option C. Put Jay's titles on Solo, but I don't think that's the most logical option. I think it's going to be option B. But either way, for now at least, Jay sees his position for what it is: nothing but a dog collar. And Roman's the one holding the leash. And speaking of you, Roman, I think it's now becoming quite clear to Jay, even if you're just going to rope him back in, this was never about respect. This was never about providing for the family. This was never about preserving the legacy of the family. There's only one legacy being preserved through this bullshit, and it's yours. You made the choice to drag out the Kevin Owens punishment at the Royal Rumble. You're the one who basically treated both Jay and Sammy like lapdogs. And it's your fault Sammy did what he did to you on Saturday. But you're going to shank blame off and blame Sammy about it. Get the story straight, tribal chump. Sammy's not the one responsible for what happened. You are! At WrestleMania, I really do hope Cody takes those titles off you and makes it your worst nightmare. And people will see you for the monster you've truly doomed yourself to become. And then you get rid of Heyman and realize he was the bastard putting all this shit in your ear. You could have stopped pushing the buttons, Roman. You could have been better and just walked away and left Kevin alone, cuffed. And maybe Sammy would have stayed with the bloodline. But nope, you pushed, you pushed, and you pushed until Sammy couldn't stand, could have had all he could stand, and he couldn't stand no more. And he whacked you in the back with the chair. Kind of ironic considering the position in the way the chair angle was swung. It was no different than when Seth Rollins double crossed you and Dean Ambrose, which led to the first dismantling of the Shield back in 2014. Did anyone pick up on that? Regardless, are you going to basically clobber Sammy as punishment at the Chamber? Yes. I don't have a doubt about that. Are you going to survive Cody at WrestleMania? No. That's your doomsday, Roman. 8 weeks, tick, motherfucker. In 8 weeks, time's up. Your time at the top, it's up. Your bloodline is crumbling around you, Roman. At WrestleMania, it finally comes to an end. 900 days, 950 days by my calculations as champion, and it's all gonna crumble. 81, 4, 85, 27 more days this month, 912, 943, 944, 945. That's your doom. Those are your doomsday numbers, Roman. When those days come about, April 1st and 2nd, time's up. Your time on the throne's over. It'll be time for a Rhodes to sit atop the mountain in the WWE. For those who think Sammy deserves to be the top of the mountain, and while I would agree with this, the front office, especially Vinnie Mac, because he's a fucking dumbass, dementia-laced dipshit who should have been put behind bars after the amount of allegations he's been going through, if not for the bullshit settlements he's had to compensate for. And believe me, as far as I'm concerned, Vincent Kenny McMahon should be put behind bars for what he's done. Nevertheless, time's ticking, Roman. You're dropping those belts at WrestleMania. I can feel it in my bones. And you're going to suffer hearing this tune. Because wrestling wrestling is more than one. Wrestling is more than one. Royal family. You're going to be hearing this when you're flat on your back, and the ref counts. So the ref counts. You're flat on your back after taking multiple crossroads, and the ref counts 1, 2, 3, and ends your reign once and for all. You're going to be hearing this. In the soul, every thought out of control. Do it all to get them off the feet. Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa! My father said, when I was younger, my top dreams and you took it all away, I give it all away. You take my freedom, you changed the game, but then I made a change. I built my kingdom, you got to pay. I dream the night I die. You follow me till the end. I have my kingdom. You're going to be hearing that at WrestleMania, Roman, when your doomsday finally comes and the bloodline crumbles. Beyond that, I don't have anything much else to say. Leave a comment, smash the like, and sub to the channel. This is Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang. 58.